Mesa View Mustangs.
We are here to tell you about what happened since our last newscast.
Counselors of YHS came on the 26th of February to MVMS during the 8th graders' history period so the 8th graders could turn in their registration forms that let us choose our electives and or academies.
On the 28th of February, our 8th grade girls got to go out to the University of Redlands to see STEM careers and jobs.
We also had the 5K on Saturday, March 3rd. It was a 3-mile run that was open to anybody who came and paid $30. When you complete the run, they give you PE credit for your miles and endurance runs.
On Thursday, March 8th, the MVMS 8th graders went to Knott's Berry Farm for Physics Day. All the 8th graders had a blast.
The next day, on the 9th, we had our spring dance. This was held in the NPR from 6 to 8.
On Wednesday, 3/14, MVMS 8th and 7th graders celebrated Pie Day during their math period. They got to do a math race, and if they won, they got pie.
That's all we have for past news. Thanks for watching. Up next is our teacher feature. Welcome to our teacher feature. We have Ms. Pittman here.
Hi.
Alright, so we're just going to get started. So, first question, if you weren't a teacher, what job do you think you'd have?
Wow, if I wasn't a teacher, I think, looking back on it, I wish I had gone to medical school and maybe been a doctor or done something in science, but I hated school, and I knew that being a doctor would be a lot of school, and I just could not imagine spending any more time in a classroom. I just saw, it's 8 years, I couldn't do it.
Okay, how do you handle the different ability levels in your class?
Wow, well, in my class, I try hard to give students a lot of free choice. Well, you're in my class.
Yeah.
I try to give students a lot of free choice. So some students, they can stay in and we'll do lecture, and we'll go through the notes step by step. Other students like to get the notes on their own off of Google Classroom. I have, every Friday, students get to pick any project that they want that I have the materials for, so they can build whatever they want. I've got a lot of expertise in here. I've had a couple students who said, the XYZ, electricity is not really my thing. I'd really like to learn about this instead. And we talk about, well, what would that look like? How can I make sure that you're making progress and, that you're really using the time to learn something new? And if they can show me that, there's going to be checks, I'm okay with that. I think schools should have a lot more free choice and things that you guys can, if you can figure out what you want to learn and the best way to help you learn it, I'm here to give you the time and maybe a little support. I feel like that's my job.
What was the most recent activity that you did in the makerspace?
Well, in the makerspace?
Yeah.
That's a good question. Let's talk about the next activity in the makerspace, because the next activity that we're going to do is I have what's called a Cricut machine, and it's a paper cutter, and it can make different shapes, and so we're making little boxes that are in the shape of bunnies for treats. I was hoping that there would be a lot more technical things in the makerspace, and I've done a few technical things. The problem is that it's only open during lunch, and if a student eats for 10 minutes and then comes to the makerspace, they've got maybe 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'm struggling to find some ways to take that 20 minutes and make it more valuable for them. And I think what I really need to do is recruit student mentors, student volunteers. If you knew how to do something and you'd be willing to teach that thing in the makerspace, have that rolled out, or a set of instructions that went along with everything, so that, hey, if you want to make this thing, here's the materials, and students could do it on their own step by step, but have some people around. This is the first year, and I'm trying really hard to sort of flesh that out and make it better, but it's definitely a work in progress.
So how would you recruit the students? Would they just sign up?
It would be students that signed up. At the beginning of the year, I did some recruiting and I had some students, and we started off pretty well, but like a lot of things, I got really busy. And so I'll tell you that something that's coming up in applied science, you guys are going to have a project where you have to create a video and a set of instructions for something in the makerspace. So I'm actually going to be recruiting you. You won't necessarily have to teach it if you don't want to, but there might be extra credit in it for you. So see, as a teacher, I can throw stuff like that out and get my way.
What is your favorite STEM lab project you've ever seen?
My favorite STEM lab project is as far as for the one that everybody in the school does, is the catapults, because I get students who get to use tools that they've never used before. I like difficult projects. The one I'm working on right now and trying to develop for our class for the actual elective is something where we're doing a 3D printing and combining circuitry in it, so we're gonna have a 3D printed thing that moves. I have been trying to do that and do a good job with that for 2 years now, and it's still, again, a work in progress. So things like that. Let's see, what is my favorite? I don't know if I can come up
Like
with
Friday project that you've seen.
Friday project. I had a boy make like a soapbox racer, like a little downhill racer, that I'm sure the first time he got in that thing, he probably crashed and burned, but hopefully he wore a helmet. But that was really cool. It was a really neat thing, and the thing I like best about it is that he did it mostly on his own. It was a big project. It was challenging. He had some help from the experts here in the shop, but he did most of it on his own, and he loved it. And he was so happy and enthusiastic about the way it turned out that made me happy.
How long did that take him?
Almost the whole year. That took him almost the whole year.
All right. Well, thank you for
Okay, all right, Gwen.
the answers.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
You can speak a language, which language would you speak? I'll speak Mexican. If you could speak a language, which language would you speak?
Spanish. Korean. Spanish. Spanish.
Maceview Mustangs.
We are here to tell you about what's going to pop up in the future.
Our first event is on Tuesday, the 10th of April, where the 5th graders will get a preview of what we do at MVMS. They will be coming around 8:30.
Elective Showcase will be happening on April 12th. This is where the MVMS students get to see all the electives they can take next year.
Then on Friday, the 13th, the whole school in their science period will be doing a project involving water to celebrate Da Vinci Day.
Then from March 18th to April 2nd, students will get time off school because it's spring break.
Thanks for watching. That's all we have for future news.